Good afternoon everybody and welcome to this cooking demonstration. Today we're going to make a Thai style tofu curry. The first thing we're going to do is saute the tofu with tumeric, and I am Anthony, your presenter, and I have Ian here as my assistant. So the first thing we do is we put the tofu in a warm skillet and we pour over some tumeric sauce, and we're going to let that saute for a few minutes, and I'm going to hand over to Ian to do that. And while that's happening, I'm going to tell you what we have here. So we have some lemongrass, we have some garlic that's been crushed, we've got celery, we've got chopped onion, we've got galangal. You can get galangal in your Asian store. We also have ginger, we also have fresh turmeric, and what I have here is a mixture of the three. We have some carrots, coriander, and keffir lime leaves. Obviously, we do not want to forget our coconut cream, caraway seeds, sweet paprika, and cayenne pepper. For the next part of the recipe, we have the tofu that we sauteed in the tumeric. We have added some onion, garlic, ginger, and galangal to the recipe. We've also added some turmeric and we've sauteed it in water. Alongside that, I've added some caraway seeds. And the next part of this recipe is to add the rest of the ingredients, which I'm going to walk you through. So we're going to add the tofu. And while we're adding the tofu, we want it to absorb the flavors of the ginger, the galangal, and the garlic alongside the turmeric. I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of salt, which we have here. We're using pink salt today. We have some cayenne pepper and some sweet paprika as our seasonings. So that's 1 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika. Once the ingredients that we've placed in have sauteed appropriately, it's time to add our next ingredients. And for that, we're going to add 1 chopped stalk of a celery. We're going to add some carrots. So these are 2 carrots, finely chopped. We're going to add in 2 keffir lime leaves. And we're also going to add about 1 can of coconut cream. And we're going to let this simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes until the carrots are tender. After about 10 minutes, we're going to add in our lemongrass stalk. And we're also going to put 1 tablespoon of tomato paste, and we're going to let that saute again for about 5 more minutes, after which we're going to add our steamed broccoli and cauliflower. We'll also add some coriander and cover it and let it simmer for a final 5 minutes before the dish is ready. Hello again. We're going to make what we call a arepa. It's a South American dish from Colombia, and it features heavily with sweet corn, and it's delicious. What we need for these arepas is polenta flour, frozen corn, and coconut cream or coconut milk. We also need some salt. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 5 cups of coconut milk into my blender. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, I'm going to add 3 cups of our frozen sweet corn, and this you can get from a supermarket. We're also going to add 2 cups of polenta, but this we're going to put it in the mixing bowl. So we're going to blend this until it's fine. Once you're happy with the texture of your mixture, you're going to add that to the polenta. And what you want to do is make sure that everything gets mixed properly. You should have a consistency which is thin and runny, but then at the same time it's between a pancake and a cake batter. And we're going to put this straight over our griddle. I'm going to spray that with some oil just for coating. And you want to cook these at a low temperature for about 3 minutes, and then we'll be able to flip it to get to the other side. After you've made your arepa, you could make it into a pancake if you so wish, or you could also make it into smaller little circles. One thing that I did not mention earlier is if you find that your mix is too runny, there are ways to make it thicker. You could add an extra cup of polenta, and that should be able to hold it together. So now I'm going to show you what the meal would look like when you serve it. So I've got my arepa, which is like your sweet corn pancake. It's come out really beautifully. And this is also the sauce that we made earlier. So you'll want to just mix that in, and see, it smells so good. I wish you were here. This is my lunch. You could put that on the side, and you could make it look nice and beautiful. Get some mixed herbs and throw that on. You could also add in some sweet paprika if you so wish. Okay,
I'll go and eat this.
Hi again, and welcome to the next recipe that we are going to make. Now this can be your dessert, this can be your breakfast, and this can be your dinner. It's light, it's easy, it's delicious. The first thing we're going to do is get our soy milk and put that in a big mixing bowl. So this is about 500 ml of soy milk. I've got about 270 ml of coconut cream. I'm also going to add about 1 tablespoon of maple syrup, so it's not even too sweet. It's a decadent dessert. We're also going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. It's a bit over, but a little bit will not hurt. And we also have some crushed pineapple. Who knew? Put that in there. And there's something which always makes food delicious. It's some lemon rind. So we got that in there. That's from 1 lemon. And I'm also going to get the lemon juice in there. So you mix those first ingredients as you have seen. It smells so good. The last ingredient is half a cup of chia seeds. So you mix that until everything is well incorporated, and then you let it sit for anything from 10 minutes, overnight, a couple of hours, and once it's nice and thick, enjoy dessert, breakfast, and dinner. Hey, good day from here. So we're going to make some blueberry sauce, and we're also going to make some pear cream sauce, and this is for your breakfast. This is going to be delicious with waffles, anything else, but you'll love it. And it's very simple. That's the best part of it. So the first thing you do is to add 2 cups of frozen blueberries. Now, before I go further, I'm using a Thermomix, but then you could do this on a skillet at home. So do not think that a Thermomix is an impediment for you to enjoy this blueberry sauce. So that's 2 cups of blueberries. And we also need to add about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Now to that, you could also add a dab of lemon with the zest or with the rind of it. Or you could just leave it like that. Personally, I think that's fabulous. So for the pear cream, we need to steam about 2 pears. That's what we have. I steamed these earlier. We have about 1 cup of cashew nuts. I soaked these earlier. You do not need to soak them. This is like a 1 blender mixture. We also need about 1 cup of soy milk. That will make it creamier, richer, yummier. We also need about half or a quarter cup of coconut cream in that. And we're going to add some vanilla. What can we do without vanilla? So we're going to add about 1 teaspoon. And if you want more, you know what? I'll go for more. Let's make it nicer. Why not? So we're going to blend this until it's nice and creamy, and you let it sit. At the same time, what I'm going to do with this is to start it cooking, and then I'll show you the final mixture alongside our waffles, which we are going to be making next. Welcome to the final segment of this recipe, food madness. It's going to be good. Trust me on this one. Now we're going to make waffles, and today my choice of grain is Teff. Little humble superfood. You could use millet, you could use oats, and just replace 1 for 1, and also gauge it with your eyes. You know, the texture is one thing, but then once you work with this, you'll be able to amend it to something that you will like. So what I'm going to do, once again, this is a 1 blender recipe. We got 1 cup of teff, and I'm using the seed, so do not bother to add, to grind it and all that. It's just wasting time. So you also use 1 cup of soaked chickpeas. We will add to that 1 teaspoon of salt. We could also add some zest. That will just make it nice and zingy and nicey. And we're going to throw in 1 banana. We just want to give it, all the richness that we can get. So what we're going to do is we're going to blend this until it's nice and thin, and then we're going to put it inside our waffle maker. After you've blended your mixture, it will be quite runny, but you will see the results. It's kind of like edible magic. So we have our waffle maker here, and Ian's going to spray that. A bit more generous, please. We do not want our first waffle to stick. So the first thing to do is to pour it in. Now the trick about this is it's better to have a lot more than a lot less. Right, so we're going to cover that and wait about 12 minutes, and let's see what we're going to make for breakfast. Welcome again. So we've been waiting about 10 to 12 minutes, and our waffle is ready. Yes, that's the sound you want to hear, the sound of yummy. Let's see what we got. Surprise, surprise. Look at these now. Do not destroy your waffle maker. So you may want to find something sharp or something plastic, or if you've oiled your skillet well, should come out really easy. So, there we go. Look at that. Thick, beautiful. And I have got a lot. I'm going to have a lovely breakfast tomorrow. So I've taken out my waffle and I am about to dress it. But then I just wanted to show you what we made earlier. That's the pear cream. You're going to see it on the waffle. And we also have the blueberry sauce. You cannot see it, but you will soon see it, and I will definitely taste it. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful day. As we've showed you a variety of meals that you could make in your home. We hope that you could join us another time while we make other delectable, lovely, delicious, simple and wholesome meals. Now I'm going to show you everything that we have made together. We have our salivatable, delicious Teff waffles You can see the blueberry sauce has been put under. We've got a pear cream, and we even added extras for you. We just drizzled it with carob sauce, which you can find at a local store close to you, and just a bit of zest of the lemon. So this is your delicious breakfast. And for lunch, we had our Thai style curry with our arepa corn pancakes. Very delicious. And lastly, for dinner or for dessert, we have our simple yet delectable chia pineapple pudding. Thank you and goodbye.